Hey folks, Wednesday the 9th of November 22, and we have the midterm elections results rolling through from the US at the moment. And equities very much kind of jawboning on yesterday's trade and staying quite quiet in today's European session so far. You're seeing lovely targets. We had 3860s as targets up here on the S&P, the SPOOs. And those targets were hit in around half four there yesterday, and job done. And then incredible rollback here on equities back to around that 3800s area to go bid thereafter into the close. But really quite a lot going on here. Look, I'm not going to get into the Republican Democrat win loss here on the House and the Senate, but I think the Republicans have the House, and it's a bit of a tighter race for the Senate. So, what does that mean? Well, I think it's actually quite positive for equities if the Republicans can secure the House fully, and I think they have so far. And for the Senate, well, that's probably going to be a little bit negative should it be kind of hung between the two parties. So, look, what does this mean for trade? Well, let's have a look at oil and the S&P here as we go into this. So, oil, look at the trend here. We'll go back to a weekly bar, this daily bar. So just go back to a weekly, and we can see this trend in place here over, well, since really the start of, well, mid-September actually, on that May 2015 high, 77.34 is bid up. We're just taking a bit of a pullback here. Then if we go to the back to the dailies, we can see the lows of day are interacting with this trend right down here on oil. So on the daily bars, you can see the supports should come in here for oil. Really poor time of day at the moment, so it might take a little bit more time for this trade to work out. But I like the longs from this area, and actually the longs to keep going on up here for then the rest of the week from this area. A breakdown, of course, on these lows of day. Look, I think there'll be a little bit of buying at 88s, but it should, if we do break on the current lows of day on oil, I think that's going to be a bit of a freight train going down to at least 84.30s. So do keep an eye out for that breach if we get it on oil. But look, we're bullish. SPOOs, let's have a look at the S&P here on the daily charts. And well, yeah, I mean, what did we say last week? We were really looking for the market to hold above this 37.59's quarter, and it really did need to close above, which it did. And then we were going to be looking for longs this week, which have been yielding good results so far. Nice longs that we were on yesterday, getting out 38.60s up around the highs of day. And I think we can, I think we need to kind of close today above this 38.20s, which was kind of the high of the 3rd of August here, October, 3rd of October, their high. So I really think we need to at least close 38.20s for this kind of bullish pullback to maintain here, right? So yeah, let's keep that in mind. So if we then kind of go down to if we go down to this hourly chart here. What's that going to be? Well, a good level here, 38.17's half for buying to then come in and then roll back towards these highs and higher targets. So I think it's quite important that we both visit 38.60s and above today for these longs to maintain. But right now, it's a lot holds in the balance. 39.28, 39.28 is where the real battleground. 39.28 is way up here. So I think this is where the real battleground for, if we can have a monster bear trend pullback or not. Really, for me, the market is super weak as it stays below this area up here. And it'll be continuing to kind of, the closer we get to here, then the more I'm actually going to be looking for shorts to then get back on the bear trend. But until that, probably looking for longs to then scoop up something cheap and trade up into this area. So yeah, that's what we're doing with the edge. We trade Bitcoin. Everyone wants to know what the hell's going on. Well, FTX is a crypto exchange which had to essentially liquidate yesterday. And I'll just before we go off, I'll just go back to my chart screen here and show you Bitcoin. FTX basically got a margin call as a brokerage. They had such withdrawals from their exchange that they had to basically organize a deal with Binance, which hasn't inked the deal, hasn't signed the deal. They're in due diligence, but likely that they are going to buy it. So, these are two of the biggest crypto exchanges. Anyway, Bitcoin down 1.4 on the session, but it's really down about 17% on the past couple of sessions here. And so, just do be aware of that. Like negative actually from what are we here on weekly bars. So yeah, on the week, for example, we're down about 20.5%. So, we were talking yesterday about 16,260s for the longs. We got very close to that overnight, and buyers coming in ahead of that. But I think wait for the 16,260s to trade, then look for the long monster pullback, and then I'd be waiting for the next bout of selling to come. So that's it really on Bitcoin. All right. So that's been a pre-US look ahead. Have a great session, and I'll talk to you later or see you in Discord. Cheers.